As a certified golf performance coach, these are the 3 exercises that I would want to do for the rest of my life pre-round if I could only choose 3. First thing I need you guys to do is like this video, subscribe to the channel, post a comment, and if you have any suggestions on what you'd like to see, definitely post them in the comments below. You need to hit that notification button to let you know whenever I post a video. They're starting to come a lot more often now that I have this great facility, Tri Golf in Raleigh, to do a lot of my filming at. Anything that you are struggling with, I want to help. My name is Justin Langhill. I'm a certified golf performance coach, and today I'm going to show you the 3 exercises that I would choose if I could only do 3 warm-up exercises the rest of my life to warm up for a round of golf or a round at the driving range. I would have to focus on the 3 main things that make for a good golf swing: mobile hips, weight shift, and thoracic mobility, right? So upper body rotation, lower body rotation, and then something that keeps the lower body stable. So the first thing that I would do, first exercise, one of my favorites, is the pivot and post. It would involve standing up. All of these are going to involve standing up because the last thing we want to do if you don't have an area is to sit on wet grass or just kind of look like you're rolling around on a mat at the driving range. So what I would do first is called the pivot and post. You might have seen this in a previous video that I've done, but what this is going to do is going to promote weight shift and rotation and a big stretch in the oblique and the QL, that large back muscle that tends to get most players tightened up. So I'd start a little wider than shoulder width apart. And again, I like doing this video at the range right now so that you can see, I like to promote stretching movement at the range, especially before you hit. You have to warm up your muscles. So pivot and post looks like this. I'm going to grab my right hip with my left hand. I'm going to rotate into what would be a finished part of my swing, grab my left hand with my right wrist, and just lean as far as I can go. Big breath at the end. Okay, I don't want to stay too long in the stretch, maybe like a 1 Mississippi, 2 Mississippi count. Come up, send the weight back to the middle, and then just do the other side. Good. One big breath, come back to the center. Always readjust so your feet are completely straight. I'm not really grabbing my hip, it's more for over exaggeration of the turn. Big stretch down. Let's do one more on the right side. Okay, so I'm in a full pivot, obviously. This is pivot, now I'm posting up in it. Grab my right hand, push the butt out while I'm pulling my right arm. So that's the pivot and post. That's going to stretch my the lateral sides of myself, oblique, QL. It's also helping me simulate what the end of a golf swing is supposed to look like, should look like. The second exercise that I would do if I had to do 3 for the rest of my life would be a lateral lunge to a right side or left side opener. I'm not going to turn into the side that I'm lunging into. It'd be very difficult to do that. So what I'm going to do is get into a lunge. You don't have to go all the way to the ground, but just something where your knee's not in front of your toes or anything like that. Lunge. I would probably hold my knee here and just rotate. Okay. If you're a more mobile person, you might be able to get super low, maybe rotate the hip out, get a good rotation in. Always come back to middle, always come back to center. We want to make it one good flow. So again, for those of you who aren't as mobile, totally fine. You still want to get some sort of lateral stretch. That's what a golf swing is. We're moving toward one side or the other, mostly righties, obviously being about at least 80+% of golfers, always pushing to the left, always pushing to the left, always pushing to the left. Right side needs to feel some force as well. So one more here, rotate. Now, while I'm rotating to the right, I'm actually pushing my left hand hard to the left to create as much separation in my low back as possible, upper back as well. Full spinal rotation. So that's a lateral lunge with a thoracic opener. It's a great warm-up stretch. It's what I would add as number 2 to my exercise arsenal pre-round. So the third exercise that I would choose is going to be a lunge or a split stance. Again, you don't have to get all the way down to the ground. It would help if the lower body was more stable for this exercise because I really want to open up my upper body, assuming that maybe you just had an hour ride in the car to get to the course. I would do a lunge with a thoracic opener, whatever you want to call it. It's all the same. So if I were to get all the way to the ground, I would just get into a simple lunge, but I want to open this time to the side that my knee is up. Unlike the lateral movement, I want to open to that the contralateral side. So here, arms will be out, rotate. Now I could do this a couple different ways. I could stop my knee from trying to go with it. Now, in the essence of movement, I definitely want to keep everything going. You know, I could do this. I would switch legs, I would alternate, start warming up the body a little bit more. Good. If you didn't want to get down to a lunge, or if you could not, this is a split stance, something a little wider. I want my knee to be directly above my ankle, if not a little bit in front of it. Maintain that. Still want to open up to this side. If I were in a split stance, I'd want to make it a more of an arc rotation as opposed to straight back, because I have a little bit of lean. Now, if you have to do it this way, if you prefer to do it this way, 100% it's going to be harder to balance. If I'm down on the ground, I have more of a stable base, firm base. This is definitely going to be harder. But I would still alternate legs. I definitely want to acknowledge that, one, you should be warming up before a round of golf. Your body's got to be warm. It's about to perform vicious, fast movements for some of you. And another thing that's extremely important is to go slow. There's no need to speed through any of these movements or exercises. All that's going to do is throw you off balance. It's going to depreciate the value of the exercise itself. Okay, so by going super fast, I'm not getting any range of motion. I'm just going through the motions alone altogether. So nice and slow, find my base, find my balance. Good extension. Okay, make sure I still have balance at the end. Find that second balance point. Good. I even felt like a push this way. If I had jumped into the next one, I don't get to find that balance point with my left leg. Could be something to think about or work on the next rep. Right side seems to be pretty good. Again, that's the alternative of that lunge position one. Not going to have much issue with balance here. You could also easily rotate legs like this. But that's why it is number 3 on my movement list pre-round of golf. If I had to do 3 exercises for the rest of my life, those are the 3 pre-round. They hit all the main points of what you would want warm before hitting the tee box. Hope that helps. I hope you guys are warming up, are stretching, are moving before a round of golf. Definitely don't go out cold, and you'll start to see yourself not need to wait 4, 5, 6 holes before you start feeling like I do right now. Next thing I need you guys to do, head over to reborngolf.com. There is a whole exercise library of videos. There's also plenty on my YouTube, but there's plenty of articles as well that you can scroll through to try to find something that might relate to you a little bit better. Go download the Golf Fitness Roadmap. Plenty of information in there on nutrition, basic exercises, pre-round warm-ups, everything that you need to get started for the off season. When you're not able to swing the club, Golf Fitness is the way to go to start building that golf body that's going to help you get better in the springtime.